Hello, my name is Martha Bond. I'm a certified yoga therapist and teacher. The teachings of yoga have evolved and flourished over thousands of years. In recent history, science has proven many of the benefits yoga has to offer. A regular yoga practice will improve strength, stability, range of motion, as well as increase lung capacity and oxygen uptake. Studies have also shown that a regular yoga practice will decrease stress response, anxiety, and promote mental clarity. Having said that, the most effective yoga practices are designed and adapted to meet your individual needs, interest, and stage in life. Since we don't have the benefit of personal evaluation in this setting, it's important that you honor your boundaries. So listen carefully, not only to my words, but to the feedback of your own experience. If something instinctively doesn't feel right or you experience any pain or lightheadedness, stop where you are and evaluate what you're doing. This program will not take the place of being in the presence of a qualified teacher, nor is it meant to replace medical treatment. Learning any new activity takes practice. Consistency is the key to developing a healthier, happier, and whole existence through the practice of yoga. Welcome and thanks for joining us again today. Today we're going to be conducting the entire class seated in a chair. So I would recommend that you find a really sturdy chair, something preferably without arms, and make sure it doesn't roll. It's not going to tip over. You know, just be really careful. Maybe a dining room chair, kitchen chair would work for this one. The other thing that you might need today is some kind of, this is a yoga strap, but certainly a necktie or bathrobe strap would do, or a belt would do, so any kind of belt, so have that handy. And then also I have with me a couple of yoga blocks. Really all you need is just some kind of a lift, you know, something that will bring the floor up a little closer to you. So depending on your flexibility, that might be a footstool, it could even be a low table, or just something else, you know, just as long as it's sturdy and it's not going to tip over while we use it. So you can have both of those things handy with you today. Good, so when you're ready, come to your chair, comfortable seated position, and this is going to be the seated variation of Tadasana, and Tadasana is that pose, is mountain pose. So when we come to mountain pose, we think of a mountain being steady, but not necessarily hard as a rock. You know, a mountain breathes and lives, there's usually a lot going on there. It's not just firm and stiff. So to begin with, let's think about our feet. So you want your feet to be about hip width apart, and when I say that I mean lined up with the hip sockets, not as wide as your hips or as wide as you think your hips are. And then we'll have the knees at 90 degrees, bent at 90 degrees, and that will line our ankle up right under the knee. All right, so start to really feel the feet now. See if you can balance the effort in the feet. You know, push down equally on the inside and the outer edge of the feet. There's four corners on the feet. So even seated, we can have some action going in the legs. And you might notice that in the shins and the calves. Good, and now we can really turn our attention to our hips, or to this, we call it the pelvic girdle or the pelvic bowl. So if you would imagine that bowl sitting here and it had water in it, and you wouldn't want to tilt that water out, so we want to find a neutral place for that. And once we're there, then we create a really firm foundation, or a solid foundation, a line foundation for the rest of our spine. So find that. Notice that now we're beginning to use a little bit of abdominal muscles. Many of us are using our back muscles as well, and you might even need to use thigh muscles to kind of keep this pelvic girdle in place. Good. Maybe even imagining here the spine lengthening a little bit, rolling the shoulders back and letting the shoulder blades slide down. Neck gets a little bit longer, almost like your head is floating. You can balance your head right over your heart, or maybe think of your ears right over your shoulders, and your shoulders over your hips. Now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes here and just feel the body. So just close your eyes and maybe mentally scan the body. Start at the head to toe, just kind of gazing, you know, through the body. If you find any place of resistance or weakness, without passing judgment, good or bad. Maybe there's a place in the body that you really need to pay attention to today that's crying out for a little extra health and healing. And just acknowledge it so you'll feel safe and you'll know you won't push yourself too hard. Now you can remain with your eyes closed. I'm going to talk you through the breathing technique. And we usually practice Ujjayi breath in this class. We use several techniques, but mostly for the asana practice, we use the Ujjayi breath. To start with, just think of it directionally. Let's just learn how to breathe. So beginning with maybe our hand on our chest and the other hand on the belly. The breath should kind of fill the lungs completely, and we have a diaphragm here, right? And the diaphragm actually moves down when we take an inhale. So if we let our belly soften, it kind of leaves space for the lungs. Okay, so kind of you can visually maybe think of that as we're inhaling. So many of us just breathe right up here in the upper part of our chest when really we should be, feeling the breath move down and expand the belly. All right, so here we go. We're going to inhale. Think of going into the upper chest first, collarbones expanding, ribs expanding, and then belly expands. On the exhale, start belly first, the ribs follow, and then the chest returns to neutral. All right, so on the inhale, chest moves a little beyond neutral, ribs expand, belly softens, and exhale, belly, ribs, and chest, and I'll do it with you now a couple of times. Now we can add that little whispering effect to the breath as well, so use your whispering muscles. All right, so you stay with the Ujjayi breath. I've got to talk, so I can't do that with you throughout the whole class, but try to stay with that. And if you don't quite get it, just inhale fully, exhale completely. As long as you're breathing, you're practicing yoga. So if nothing else is working for you, just focus on the breath and stay with that, and you'll still gain a lot of benefits from it. So hands will be relaxed on the knees. And we're going to do spinal rotations, and we're just going to move from the hips all the way up through the neck, warming up the spine, moving the spine in all different planes of rotation. So tune into the breath once again, and now it's like the breath just guides us. We're going to allow that inhale to just draw us forward as the spine gets a little taller, longer, and the exhale, remember we tuck in belly first, takes us back. So inhale forward, and exhale back. And think of this as just an exploration, just noticing how you feel, maybe into the low back. Now remember that pelvic bowl we talked about? Now we totally want to tip the water out. Now we're tipping forward, we're off to the side, we're tipping it back, we're off to the side, and then it's just really smoothing it out. So one more complete breath. Now finish off that exhale, be honest with it, finish it off, and then go the other way. Your eyes can close, just sort of move into it. It can be like a moving meditation. Gaining a heightened sense of awareness of your own condition, mentally, physically, and emotionally. No need to change it, just moving and breathing. All right, so all the way around, and we're going to find our way back up into neutral, sitting up nice and tall. Good, so we've done rotation, and now we're going to do some extension and flexion of the spine. So extension, kind of what it sounds like. We're going to extend. So we're going to extend forward a little bit, and this is a place where you can really act like and feel like your heart is lifting up to the sky, and even your chin. So be cautious here not to just fling the head back. There's really some action and control with this. We inhale and we look up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. On the exhale, pull the belly button back to the spine and round it back. Chin can tuck down. So roll the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together and look up, lift, and exhale. We'll do it a couple more times, and it's really common to notice that, you know, you start off really super stiff, and then the more you breathe, the more you move, you'll find a few more places kind of unlocking, opening up, warming up. The muscles and joints become a little more supple when we move them like this. And after this next exhale, you're just going to return to neutral spine, neutral seated position, or Tadasana. Tadasana. Good. Find the balance. Even though there's a sense of support, it's like a place of least resistance. You know, you may have to have a little support in the core to hold you up, but once you get there, you feel, you know, like that's the place you need to be. Good. Sit tall, a little bit of extra length in the neck, and on the exhale, chin just bows down towards the heart or towards the chest. Feel that lengthening in the back of the neck. Some people feel this all the way down to the low back, into the, you know, towards the tailbone even. Again, no force, no pushing. Let your shoulders relax down. Chin comes back up to the center or to neutral, and now right ear over towards the right shoulder. And just move till you feel sensation, and then breathe into it. You know, you sort of exhale and find that you can trust and let go a little bit more. Changing sides with the breath. Inhale, floating, lifting up. Exhale, releasing. Nice sense of release. This side might feel a lot better, maybe a lot tighter. Just respect that, honor that. Do what you need to do. And now coming back up to the center. Good. If you feel like it's necessary, or if you kind of feel like a little bit of tightness still, let's go ahead and drop our chin back down to the center once again. And we'll lift it up. Good, so shoulder rolls. So we start off with these commonly, and it's a really nice way to warm up the shoulders and warm up the upper body. So just beginning with the shoulders first, roll them back. And you can time this to the breath, maybe 2 on an inhale, 2 on an exhale. Everybody's a little different with this one. It doesn't have to be slow motion, you know, so it's timed with an inhale or an exhale. Just continue with your complete breathing and move comfortably. And we add the elbows to it, so here come the elbows. Make as big of a circle as you can. One side again, your circle might be smaller on one side than the other, it's okay. Just do what you can, make it your own. We discover new things about our body every time we come to yoga. Every time we come to our practice, there's something new going on. And that's the beauty of it. It grows with us as we change and mature. So his arms will be extended now, all the way around, all the way around. You know, I feel a little clicking, a little tension, but as long as it isn't causing pain, it should be fine. Try to stay neutral. And we're going to change directions. All the way around now. Try to keep our neutral spine. So it's as little movement as possible in the torso. And now it's time for those elbows. Probably starting to feel this a little bit. If you need to rest for 1 or 2 rounds, rest, it's okay. We'll be here for you when you're ready to start again. Just breathe. So when you're resting, you're still breathing. You're practicing, trying to get a little better, proficient at that Ujjayi breath. And now time for just the shoulders. So palms down, shoulders roll forward, rolling forward. And just kind of seek out that tension, you know, make the circle as big as you can. Try to find what's holding you back and see if we can work through it a little bit. All right, last one. There it is. Now shoulders come up by the ears, and we just drop them down nice and heavy. And up by the ears, and drop them down. Good, once more. And dropping them down right there. Great, so we're going to move on now to some lower body. This is where you're probably going to need either a belt or a strap or some blocks. And honestly, if neither one of these things are convenient or available right now, I'll try to show you a way to get through it without any help at all. It'll be fine, trust me. All right, so this first pose is called Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg forward fold. So wide feet, and once we get the feet nice and wide, we're actually going to kind of turn the toes in, sort of pigeon-toed. So if you're more flexible, you can go wider, that's fine. Now this is where we're going to need that lift. It's going to be right in front of us, so I'm just going to reach over here and grab my blocks. You could probably get away with one, but I just happen to have an extra one, so I'll use it. Good, so right in the center, right there. All right, so arms are going to come out first, and then exhale, just bring them down to your waist or to your hips. And now inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Good, exhale, we're going to lean forward and hopefully be able to reach that lift. Now, if that's just not happening, not good, not convenient, not appropriate, hands can be right here on the thighs, and you could support yourself this way. You could even have another chair in front of you if that's better. Good, so we're going to have some activation in the legs here. I'm going to go ahead and reach down. Action in the legs. Remember, the toes are turned in, kind of that slight pigeon toe. And in order to help encourage the knees open, I'm going to activate my inner thighs and then the outer edges of the baby toe side of the foot as well. Great, so from here we're going to take a deep breath in and think of the sort of like half fold, lengthening towards your head towards me. No tension in the neck with this one. And now exhale, we're going to see if we can sink down just a little bit deeper, keeping the legs active. Good, inhale, we can lift back up. Here's halfway. And exhale, easing into it. So we keep the thighs firm, the legs active and supporting us. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, and actually this time we're going to stay there and see if we can relax our hips just a little bit more. Long neck. And so this is also accomplished if you have your hands on your thighs. You just go forward as far as you can, and as long as you feel supported in this. Good, so inhaling now, we're going to come back up to that half fold, fold variation where the arms are extended. So let's have let's actually start with the left hand and place the hand flat if you can. If not, if you're just, as long as you're holding and supporting yourself, you'll be okay. But here's an option. Place the hand flat, fingers pointed towards my right foot, and maybe the wrist right under that shoulder. Take a breath in as we open up that the right arm out to the side. Good, and maybe we can open it up and exhale into this, make it a little bit deeper turn. Doesn't have to go this far. Inhale now, I want you to reach towards me, and then exhale, just go back to your turn, wherever that feels comfortable or where you just begin to feel sensation. Inhale, reach towards me, and then exhale. We're going to find our way into our turn. And it might be a little awkward on the chair, might be a little different feeling. Just do what you feel is appropriate for you, getting the movement, getting the breath to the best of your ability. You could even have hand on hip here. So let's inhale out of this. Inhale, bring the hand down, and we're going to switch sides. So now we have our right hand, fingers pointed towards the left foot. Reassess the legs, and if you need to sit up and readjust or skip this side, it's okay. We can always do this in a seated position. I'll show you that on this side. So inhale, let's just take the arm out to the side, just get a feel for that strong right arm, and the exhale is where we turn. Now generally we exhale into turns. So turn, and then inhale, I actually want you to reach towards me, and then exhale, find that twist. Good. Inhale towards me, and then exhale, find the twist. Left hand could certainly come down onto your hip or thigh. And if you're in the seated version, we would just have our forearm on our thigh and the hand reaching up this way. You could have palm up or palm down. Okay, so that's our option there. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths with this one. We inhale to unwind ourselves, because think about it, your spine's getting longer, we're unwinding, we're filling our lungs. It's an inhale. The exhale, take your hands to your hips, and then we inhale, coming back up to neutral. Good, well done. Let's bring our feet together, kind of heel toe together, and we can move the blocks aside for now. I don't think we'll be getting back to those. All right, so the next position is Gomukhasana. Gomukhasana. So it's translates roughly to cow face posture. And what you'll need for this one is that some kind of a belt or a strap. So I'm going to turn sideways, but you can stay facing me, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to take this belt, or whatever you happen to have, it could even be a dish towel, and take it in your left hand and drop that behind your back, like that. Now the right hand is going to come around and grab the bottom of it. So left hand is palm down, and right hand is palm out. Now if you happen to be flexible enough, you can kind of hook those fingers together. But usually it's safer to start right here. Okay, so that's how the arms are going to look. So we have our left arm up, so let's cross our right leg. So cross the right leg. And now we're going, and you can point the toe on that right foot, find neutral, and then walk those hands down a little bit closer, and it's okay to tuck your chin for a moment. Good, when you get as close as you can without causing any pain or any fear, then bring your chin back up to neutral. See if you can maintain your neutral spine. And finally, this left elbow over here should lean back a bit so that it's about as, it's in line with your shoulder. Good, now sit a little taller. Relax the hips, just let go in the tailbone and the hips. Okay, so relax the left hand, just let go. Bring it down, unwind the legs, and we can just bring that belt around now. All right, be careful, we're going to take it over the shoulder. So now our right arm is up, our right elbow is bent and up. Reaching back with the left hand, palm out, right? Start wiggling together as much as you can. Maybe cross the left leg over, point the toe. Sit up as tall as you can. Get yourself adjusted. Good, neutral spine, chin parallel to the floor. And now the last thing here, that right elbow needs to come back so that it's in line with the shoulder. And go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like. Tune into that Ujjayi breath and relax your hips, your tailbone, opening up the shoulder. And last little exhale, finish it off. Great job. All right, so here we go. We're just going to unwind ourselves. Oh, good. Now you can just hang that strap, drop it on the floor. I don't think we'll get back to that one either. We might not need it. All right, so from here, the next posture is going to be eagle posture. And we're going to kind of wind the body up a little bit, so we're going to have to take this in stages. Let's go ahead and stay right here with this left leg crossed over. We can start right there since we're already there. Now to advance this posture a little bit more, we would try to kind of wiggle around. I don't know if I can get there today. Wiggle around and actually get our toes behind our calf. That's extra. There's really not even any bonus point for that. You know, you just want to have the leg crossed, do the best we can with it. Do try to keep the knees kind of centered, so we're not going to wobble to one side or the other with this one. Now the arms, there's many stages to the arms as well. We're going to try to cross them, wind them up or cross them over like we've done the legs. But let's just start right here like in a prayer pose. So palms together, and if we could just find our neutral spine and lift our shoulders up, or excuse me, lift our elbows up so that they're in line with the shoulders. somewhere in there. Good. Now if you're happy with that and you think, well, that's okay, maybe I can go a little bit further, stay with that, and I'll turn a little bit to the diagonal. You can stay facing me. We have our left leg on top, so let's now cross our right arm on top. So we're going to just almost like we're crossing our legs. But now, just as we would bend our knees, we're going to bend our elbows. All right? Okay, so where can we go from here? Well, this just might be all there is to it, and that's great. You know, you're doing a little more than maybe you thought you could. You're going to lift your elbows up, shoulder height, and if you can, now we're going to continue to kind of wrap around, and maybe your hands, some people are really flexible, can get their palms together. We're going to bring our hands around so they're touching. Good, now let's think neutral spine, and just think maybe 3 more breaths. And now just focus on those hips. Maybe close the eyes, keep the elbows lifted, hips, tailbone, everything releasing in that area. It's great posture. And we'll just gently unwind. Never think of snapping out of it like snapping a rubber band. That's always done consciously, carefully. Good. So we only have one more side to do. We're going to take our right leg over the left now. And as with me here, the way I am, I probably won't be able to tuck my toes on this side, just maybe, but maybe not. So you might find that too. Maybe the other side you couldn't tuck, but this side you can. So give it a try. Just, you know, get to where you can get to and be happy with that. We're always just happy to be here, be practicing and doing the best we can. Sitting up nice and tall. Since our right leg is on the top, I'm going to bring my left arm on top, and as we bent our knees, we're going to bend our elbows. And then if we feel like from there we might be able to wrap around, we're going to do so. Lift the elbows up so that they are level with the shoulders the best you can. Really nice release in the upper back. But don't get too tight up here around the neck. You know, you want the neck to be long, shoulders down. Chin lifted. And maybe 1 or 2 more breaths with this one. Easing yourself out anytime. Don't push yourself to collapse. When you realize, okay, that's enough for me today, you unwind with intention, honoring yourself and your abilities. Good, and here's where we'll unwind. So just gently, starting wherever you want. Maybe the arms, maybe you need a little help. Oh, there we go. Feels pretty good. Good, getting some circulation up into these hips and the low back where it's kind of difficult to get into that area sometime. So moving on now to a half sun salutation. So you may have done sun salutations with us before, even seated or standing. There's also kneeling variations. We're just going to do the beginning of it today. I'm going to add a kind of a waxing and waning moon to this as well. So a little bit of side body lateral stretching. Good, find neutral. Let's make sure our feet are in the right place after all that leg crossing. Arms come down to the sides, sitting tall. And now arms come up all the way up just as high as they'll go. And then right hand comes down and we start to reach across. So you might feel like you need a little bit of support here, maybe even on the thigh, because this is really a reach. It's not a sink. We're not letting gravity support us. We're using our core strength to support us. So we're extending these muscles, contracting this side. Both feet planted evenly into the mat or into the floor. Start to lift up with that left arm and let the right arm follow. Use support if you need to. Exhale, left side. Lifting up, both arms. All right, let's go back to the right. Go back to the right, but just for one exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. And bending. And lifting. And exhaling. Last one, just raising up both hands and bringing the arms down to your sides. Good. So now we're going to add on to that, and add a half sun salutation to that. So inhaling, arms up, right arm down, exhaling. Inhale, lift the right arm up, and now the left arm goes down. Left arm comes up. Now here's our forward fold. Be really cautious with your low back. We're pulling the belly in. That already helps to support the low back. You're going to hold on to your knees, or let your hands slide down. Good. Just go to a point that you feel comfortable, and then on the inhale, lift up about halfway, lengthening the neck, and exhale, folding down. So inhale, come back to seated now. Good. And raise the arms up overhead. Bring your hands into your heart. Inhale. Right hand down. Inhale. Left hand. Forward fold. Belly comes in. Hands for support. Look down between the feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, maybe a little deeper, just maybe, don't have to. And then inhale, press the feet into the floor as you reach the hands out to come up, and bring your hands into your heart. Keep the legs firm, keep the feet firm. Inhale, over to the left, or left hand over. Inhale, right hand over. Inhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, and then Ardha Uttanasana, half fold, lengthening. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press the feet down to come up, and into the heart. Let's do it one more time. Stay with the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. So if the body's a little weak and tired today, you've already had your workout, need a little rest, go ahead and rest, but just stay with the breath. You can always breathe. Always take time to breathe a little better, a little more efficiently. Half fold. Exhale down. Inhale, reaching down to come back up. And hands coming into the heart. Palms up. Let's just take a moment of rest, kind of those resting breaths. Let your body and mind integrate, absorb what you've done. You might have a sense of your own increased heart rate. That's good. It's good to increase the heart rate, little cardiovascular work for you. Good. So we have one more kind of a variation of the leg crossing that we did. This is going to be a little more of a stretch. You might just begin by crossing the left ankle over the right, and if that's okay with you, you can actually maybe bring that ankle all the way up to the knee. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. We'll be okay. Wherever you are, move with it, and we'll be fine. But if it will come up this high, just like you might sit. This is going to be a really great piriformis muscle stretch, and like a little back stretch. If you suffer from sciatic nerve pain, this can actually give you a little relief from that, kind of depending on why you're having that pain. A lot of times it's a little tightness and impingement in the piriformis. So be really gentle. If you know that sciatica is caused by some compressed vertebrae, then you know that you're going to need to be a little easier with yourself on this one. So sitting tall, we can have our hands relaxed right here on our ankle and on our knee or on our thigh. We don't want to put too much pressure on this knee. Take a nice full breath in, and then exhale, just start to lean forward. Lean forward. No pressure on the knee. No pressure on the knee. And relaxing that left hip. Now inhale, sit back up. And exhale, draw the belly in and relax and go forward. Now I want you to tighten the left hip, tighten up that left hip, that left cheek, and sit back up. And now exhale, relax it, and go down. One more time like that. So we're going to tighten it and sit up, use it to kind of as support to get us up, and now relax it entirely. Go forward, just go right to, we call it the edge in yoga, that place where we can go up to and we can still breathe, but it's not stressful. So go right to that point for you, and hopefully you're feeling a nice release in this deep piriformis muscle. Relaxing at the jaw so you feel any tightness gathering there. When you're ready, we're going to sit back up with an inhale. So wait for your inhale. Really begin to understand, the more you practice, how the breath really helps us move in and out and make the most of each of these poses. So we're going to switch sides. Left foot down, feet parallel. Try the ankle, you know, see, that's a nice way to do it there. We could kind of just cross the ankles and do that forward fold. I'm sure you can probably see how that would work for you. Maybe we can just get that ankle up to the thigh. And I may have mentioned on the other side to put your hand on your knee. I tried to correct myself a couple times. No hand on knee. Let's not push down there. It's going to be on the thigh and on the ankle. Square off the hips if you need to. Sit a little taller. And a little test run, right? We're not going to just throw ourselves into this. We're going to ease the body into this deeper stretch by taking a nice long breath in. The exhale, bow forward. Keep the spine long if you can. So we're not trying to hunch into this. It's sort of a leaning into it. Inhale, come back up. Good. Now this time, grip the right hip, the right gluteal muscle. Grip that right side and release. And coming back up. Have that gripping when you come up and releasing when you go down. So once more, the gripping, coming up. And now here's where we get to enjoy this fold. So you can enjoy it, you can lean into it. Some people maybe even bring their forearms onto their leg here, little hands in prayer. Eyes closed, and you can even just imagine maybe the breath moving into that tension, into that hip. It doesn't go there really, but it's just a visualization, kind of wrapping around that tight muscle, releasing it, relaxing it, letting everything go. Wait for the inhale. If it's better to have some support, use your hands. Unwind. Good, unwinding there. Hands sitting on the knees, return to neutral spine, that place of least resistance. And let's go back to the spinal rotations where we began today. So a lot of work in the hips. Let's unwind any tension that may have gathered. Inhaling forward and exhaling back, eyes closed, turning your attention inward. And maybe one more. Go the other way. You can perhaps really begin to notice how different this feels from the start of class. If it's feeling very uncomfortable, then perhaps you went a little too far and you're just learning something about yourself. Next time you'll take it a little easier. For some of you, this might actually be even more sense of a release. Good, maybe one more. And then we'll find our way back to neutral, back to our seated position. So sitting tall, turning your head now, just turn it over to the right, or turn your face to the right, and just until you feel that gentle tug. Holding right there. Relax the shoulders. And now drop your chin down towards the collarbone. Gaze down at the floor or close your eyes. You should feel a sense of support here. You shouldn't be afraid. So if you've gone a bit too far, just ease yourself out. Good, we're all going to lift our chin now, lift it up. And now turn the gaze to the other side. Just go as far as you can. You feel that gentle little tug. See where you can let go, noticing what you can do to just let go. And now chin goes down towards the collarbone, kind of at the diagonal. Close the eyes. We're gazing down at the floor. Lifting the head and coming back to neutral. All right, so we're going to use our imagination now. We want you to imagine that you had a piece of chalk kind of right on the tip of your nose, and right in front of you is a chalkboard. So all you're going to do is make a circle without removing that chalk from the chalkboard. So we're not going to drop back or go tilt too far. Just a tiny little circle, just like you're drawing right in front of you. And maybe just one or two more times, kind of slow the circle down. You can close your eyes. And now go the other way. Remember, you're drawing a circle right in front of you. You've got that little piece of chalk right on the tip of your nose. Slowing the circle down. Slowing it down. Great. So, all right, so neutral, place of least resistance. And we're just going to roll the shoulders back one at a time this time. So let this be relaxing. And actually, let's see if we can take a nice big inhale in and exhale as we let it all go. Inhale, exhale. And changing direction. One more time. Shoulders up by the ears and drop them down, and up by the ears and drop them down, and once more. And drop them down. Good. So we've come to the point of Shavasana. Shavasana. So that translates actually to corpse pose. So traditionally, it would be lying on the mat or lying on the floor with your palms up and your feet kind of turned out and relaxed. So if it's available to you to maybe move to a recliner or to a sofa or something like that, and you can lay back and relax, perfect, no problem. So we can sit back in our chair wherever we are. And you can even let the legs stretch out a little bit, maybe stretch them out and lower them down a couple times just to relieve that tension in the knees. And now palms up. I want you to kind of lift the right shoulder and roll it back and down. And same on the left side, let that shoulder blade roll back and down. Now if you actually did have something that your head could lean against, again, that would be nice as well. So fingertips are nice and relaxed. Close your eyes. Now this breath is completely soft and natural. Imagine your breath breathing, or if you've ever seen a sleeping baby, and just slow the breath down that much. And start to bring your awareness now to the crown of your head, the very top of your head, your scalp, and maybe releasing the ears. Bringing awareness now to the forehead, that space right between your eyes and behind your eyes. And softening the eyes and the sockets. Releasing any tension in the cheeks, in the jaw, so that you can soften the sides of the tongue. And now relax your throat, your collarbones, your neck. And just encouraging now this really soft, relaxed feeling just to radiate out into the shoulders. And now it moves down your arms into your elbows. And from your elbows down the forearms, relaxing them completely into your wrist, your hands, and out to the tips of each finger. And now direct your attention to your heart center. breathing into the area right around your heart. See if on the next inhale you can't just expand that area, creating space around the heart. And exhale, letting go of any tension, anything that you're holding on to, relaxing your ribs. And that next inhale moves right into the navel center. And again, if there's any nervousness, any anxiety, breathe into it and then exhale, let it go. Relaxing your hips, your lower abdominals, lower belly, tailbone. And feel that warm, relaxed feeling just naturally moving into your hip sockets, into your thighs, your thigh bones. Relax your knees completely, the shins and the calves, your ankles. Even the soles of the feet feel relaxed, and out to each toe. Now the body is completely relaxed. Just shift your consciousness now into that space in between thoughts. And if thoughts do intrude, just imagine them kind of passing through your mind without attachment, acknowledgement. Return your awareness to your breath. Now remain here as long as you like. You can join me in gently waking yourself, keeping the mind calm and quiet, moving the fingers and toes, maybe the wrists, the ankles. You can bring the arms up. You can just allow the eyes to open when they're ready. No hurry. Exhale, let the arms come down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. You can even sit up a little taller for this one. Bring the arms up. And let them float back down. Feel the inhale. It's like the inhale is actually lifting the arms up. They're just floating. And this time, hands come into the heart. Anjali Mudra, pressing the hands together evenly. Thumbs touch the sternums. Notice how the heart is now calm and quiet. Return the attention to your breath. This is that soft breath again. Notice how your breath feels really cool as it enters the nostrils, filling the lungs completely. Notice its warmth when you exhale. So the breath can soothe the nervous system. And when the nervous system is calm, then the mind can be calm as well. Really wonderful practice for anxiety. Thank you very much for allowing me to be part of your day. Until next time, namaste.